Hello, my name is Johnny C.W. Kang, and today we welcome you to the podcast for everyday people, featuring street smarts and self-defense. My co-host is Master Fuechsel. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm great, and I am excited to be able to help people be street smart.
I know, it's not an easy thing, is it?
Well, it's really not. And, you know, we get some periodic calls in and some comments on Facebook and everything of people not really grasping what our actual concept with warriorUSA.net is. And a lot of them are thinking that, oh, this wouldn't work in this situation or that situation. And so I think it'd be a good idea if we just kind of clarified to a few people what we're actually accomplishing in
That's
warriors
right.
and senior warriors.
Yes, I think that's a great idea because for some reason, there's a few people out there who seem to think that this is trying to replace Taekwondo. And it's not that at all. You know, a lot of the techniques that we teach the everyday people is based on Taekwondo principles and basics and foundations, but it's not the traditional Taekwondo that everyone has been used to, right? So,
well, you know, it's interesting that every style thinks that what they do is unique only to them. And so an eye gouge is actually an eye gouge. And if Krav Maga or MMA or Taekwondo or karate or wushu or whoever wants to say, you know, it's our eye gouge, well, you can claim that, but it's just an eye gouge.
I know. And, you know, people, they get hung up over the little things. And, you know, what they don't realize is it's not about them. It's not about us. It's not about whose style is better than whose. This is all about helping those innocent victims, the everyday people that really need to be empowered to protect themselves and no longer be those victims and prey to the predators.
Well, and I think it's important to note that between the three of us and our contributions, we have over 100 years of experience. And I know that at one time, I just tried to kind of ballpark how many rounds of sparring and fighting that I had done. And I had over 100,000. And so, you know, I've been teaching and participating and heavily engaged for 45 years. And so I'm not trying to say it's mine. I'm not trying to say it's this or it's that. What I'm saying is, after all this time, I believe that we have produced a simple self-defense system for everyone to learn and give you some confidence to get you out of a really ugly situation the best way possible. And that we're giving you our A game. This is what we would do.
That's right. And, you know, when it comes to self-defense, there are no rules. You know, even in the cage, there's rules. And so when we teach these techniques, obviously the best defense on how to win a fight is not to be in the fight in the first place. So, right. You know, I think part of the whole strategy is, you know, that of being kind to others. But, you know, people do take advantage of kind people and they take kindness for weakness sometimes. But, you know, we really need to understand the dynamics here because there's a lot of people that have a big ego, including all those people out there that think my style is better than yours. Their ego is so big that, you know, they're looking for trouble. But one of the best ways to win a fight is not to be in it in the first place. And a lot of the steps that will help you to achieve this kind of security or sense of security is going to be your confidence level, right? So you have to believe in yourself. You have to be trained.
And, you know, what we're trying to accommodate here is to give you a very small amount of time that is required by you to acquire the muscle memory and repetition necessary that will give you these skills when you need them. And then when we develop Senior Warrior, there was a senior friend of mine that said, well, what about me? I got this hip that's a little bad. I don't move so good. I got a little arthritis in my elbow. What would you do for me? And that was the literal brainchild that brought Senior Warrior to fruition. And so what we've done is, and what everybody's got to kind of appreciate, if you hit someone in the throat and they can't breathe, they no longer are concerned with you. And so if you don't have good mobility, if you can't run away because you're older and you've got a bad knee, or you're using a cane to help you walk or whatever, you got plenty of time, because they're just focused on breathing. And so these are real techniques, and they will cause a real effect. And they're only to be used when your life is in jeopardy, because like this is not cage fighting. This is not,
That's right.
A karate tournament. This is not Olympic Taekwondo. This is, you're out somewhere and there is that big thing of, what would I do if? Well, we're trying to provide you with that answer.
Yes. And, I think for most people that are helpless or feel helpless, again, it's mainly the upper adult echelon, where they feel like, my knees hurt, my back's hurt. There's no way I can get in a fight. Well, yeah, we're not trying to teach you to get into a ring to fight 5 rounds with somebody. We're just teaching you to hit the right spots at the right time. Make sure you're hitting those target areas so that you have time to escape. Right? That's plain and simple. That's what it all comes down to, is what can you do to stop anybody? It doesn't matter how well trained they are. It doesn't matter how big they are. It doesn't even matter how fast they are. Okay? Because when you hit a throat or you gouge an eye, they can't weather that storm. All right? It doesn't matter how many muscles they have or how thick their neck is. Once you strike and you gouge their eyes, or you strike them in the throat or the groin, they no longer will be concerned with you. And that's what we're telling you, why the warrior system is so great and so effective.
And it's kind of a bad thing on our society that we're at a point where we're even thinking about teaching seniors to have to protect themselves, because it wasn't that long ago in the United States of America that seniors were respected, and no one would accost a senior. They were older, they had respect, and it was respect well deserved. And so America needs to come back to its roots, its foundations of, opening the door for seniors, opening the door, if you're a guy, for a woman, there's common courtesy, respect, having honor for someone who's maybe lived on the earth 2 to 3 times longer than you. And we all gain wisdom and knowledge by just the accumulation of time. And so we got to have some respect out there. And it shouldn't be that, it's such a violent world that even a guy on a walker, somebody could come up and stop their car and go over and shove them over. It's like, who would do that? Well, when we're seeing it on the news, obviously someone.
Yes. And, it's a shame what society has come to. Like you said, it's all about those old fashioned values and respect and, all of these things. And unfortunately, society has lost its way. So what do you need to do? Well, the everyday person needs to learn that not everyone is kind and nice like you are. Not everyone is out for your best interest. And so just knowing that will help level the playing ground a little bit. And the techniques that we're giving you, it's not straight Taekwondo. Like we said, nobody owns the eye gouge. Nobody owns the throat strike. Okay. So I don't want you to be so concerned about the style. I want you to be concerned about the effectiveness of these techniques that we're teaching you, and how this can make the difference between life and death.
And there is no question that these are effective. These are tried and proven. These are indisputable. This is stuff that any warrior from any country in any situation would use these for a self-defense, life-threatening situation because they're so effective. And that's why we picked them. And so what we're trying to do is say, hey, general public out there, you have the right to feel safe. You have the right to be able to leave your home, go places, and not be in fear and trembling about an attack or mayhem or a pack of wolves surrounding you and taking your wallet, taking your purse, humiliating you, pushing you down, kicking you, so we're trying to bring a level playing field so that people can actually have a quality of life that they all deserve.
Well, and all of these concepts and strategies and skills and techniques that we're teaching, a lot of them are grounded in just good old fashioned common sense, because there's a lot of times when you get so comfortable with what you're doing, from walking around, staring at your phone, right? Walking in the dark with your headphones on. I mean, these are all very simple things that should be common sense for safety and self-defense, but we tend to get a little bit comfortable with what we continue to do, right? And because of that, now all of a sudden, we become targets, or we become the marks, and so that's what everyone, the predators, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for weakness. They're looking for a way in. They're looking for that person that they could take advantage of or sneak up on. So a lot of this is just about having common sense and really following your gut feelings, okay? Your instincts. We all have them, but I think we've become a little numb to them, and we've taken it a little for granted, that we're going to always stay safe and we're going to be fine, and that it'll never happen to us. It always happens to someone else.
That's so true. And, what we'd like to accomplish with these podcasts is to give the full body, soul, and spirit concept. We're giving you the physical ability on warriourusa.net. We're teaching you the skills, and we're teaching you the concepts, and we're giving you what we want you to do in repetition and how to acquire the skill. Well, then, like what you just said, so if your gut tells you something, that's the spirit talking to you. So then what next has to happen is the mind has to say, whoa, warning, let's maybe check something out or go somewhere else or leave the situation or whatever's necessary. Well, then the mind has to become engaged to tell the body, move your feet. Let's exit the premises. That's body, soul, and spirit. And, competitive athletes, world-class athletes. I've had the privilege of living and training at the Olympic Training Center, and I've been around a lot of world champions, and I've done a lot of this sports psychology and stuff. And all of that is to give you the mental attitude that it takes to be a winner. And so we've also incorporated that into these podcasts and into our blogs. We're trying to give you all the cutting edge material necessary to make you be a warrior in a minimum amount of time, because we know you're busy. We know you didn't actually join a martial arts school, and that's why you're utilizing us. And so we're here for you. We're here for that. And we're going to help you, body, soul, and spirit, be a warrior to deal with what would I do if.
So powerful, and there's so many people that need our help out there. All of these, like you said, busy moms, busy dads, people that maybe want to take martial arts, but just don't have the time to commit to it. Well, what about them? Do we just leave them by the wayside? No, somebody needs to help them. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give a hand to our fellow man and also help level the playing field so that you don't get taken advantage of. And so, as you go through these trainings with us through the warrior system, I want you to be mindful that, for one, you have to have that confidence, and confidence will be built up over time. All we ask for is 5 minutes a day. In addition, you have to have the mindset. Okay. Most fights are over in 5 to 7 seconds. That's statistically proven, right? You're going to be trained. If someone's going down low, you're going to be staying up high. You're going to be attacking those target areas up high, because if they're going down low, they want to try to take you to the ground. Well, if someone's going all up high, then you're going to take it down low. So it's all about knowing, there's no way for you to decide what you're going to do before something even happens. And so this is where we're going to open up your eyes, open up your mind, and allow you to really know what you should do when that situation arises. And we told you, first and foremost, is avoid conflicts, escape, apologize, do whatever it takes, right? Nobody really wins in a real self-defense situation. Everyone can get hurt. But I want you to remember, there's no rules. Anything goes. Dirt, gravel, trash cans, anything around you. There's no rules. So when you fight, you have to fight hard, and you have to, most often, those that strike first end up winning. So if you give that aggressor opportunity to sock you in your eye, more than likely, he's gonna get you. So we're gonna teach you that, if you can't escape and all that, and you really are in fear of your life and you can't run, you're gonna strike, and you're gonna strike to the points we teach you, and you're gonna be able to save your life and escape.
And the supercomputer sitting on your shoulders is a phenomenal thing. And so when we give you concepts and ideas to think about, it immediately goes into problem solving, and it never quits. I mean, it works overdrive all the time. And so we're going to give you all this data that you never thought about before. And now the computer on your shoulder is going to process that. And then if a dangerous situation starts to come up, that computer sitting on your shoulders is going, hey, we learned about this danger. The other thing is a situation, all of a sudden you're surrounded by a couple of wolves. You say, okay, we learned about this. I made this decision. This is what I was going to do. And I am in this 100% committed, and I will come out on top, because that's what we trained you to do.
See, there's that confidence, and that confidence, again, can be built up. It's for anyone, any size. It doesn't matter, male or female. And mindset is the majority of what you need to be able to win in a situation like this. So to defend yourself, you have to be able to flip that switch and go from prey to predator. You have to go from goldfish to shark, right? And there's no sense in trying to be, bite like a shark when you're thinking you're a goldfish. It's not going to work. It's just like that small dog syndrome. And Master Fuechsel, why are there so many times where the underdog, they show the underdog winning, right? The little guy taking out the big guy. Is that really possible?
Well, the beautiful thing about it is that if you have a soft target, all right, and let's use a couple of them. There is the eyes and there is the throat. And even the nose is a pretty soft target. Okay, so it's always going to remain soft. Well, now, if you are taught how to focus all of your energy, all of your power onto a soft target, you will prevail. So if you are a little guy and you hit hard targets, then you're probably going to get hurt hitting the hard target because it's a hard target.
That's right.
But, these are These are soft targets, and they're proven targets. I mean, we could call this the Tarzan style. I grew up reading Tarzan. What do all the big cats do? They all go for the throat. Why? Because it's a soft target. Are they big and strong? Yeah. Well, a lot of times they only weigh a couple 100 pounds and they're taking down a prey that might weigh a ton. And so, whether it's karate or Tarzan, it's what works. And so when we teach you how to focus you into that soft target, you will prevail.
Well, and this is a good reason for you not to ever underestimate anybody, and a good reason why we never judge other martial arts or martial artists. It's not always about the style; it's about the person. And quite frankly, the street smarts, although many of you are going to be learning it with us through time, through our additional supplemental material, really street smarts comes from the streets. So with experience, that's how you become street smart. So it's not like being book smart where you can actually read it and see, there's a certain amount that, can only be built up through experience. We're going to get as close as we can to that real experience, but you always need to know that when that time comes and you're attacked, and you've never been attacked before, or you've never taken a punch to the eye or the nose or the throat, and it happens to you, fear is going to be there and you can freeze up, and that could be the end of that situation. So it's important to know going into it, like, what would it feel like? What would it sound like? What might happen, right? And as long as you kind of understand these things going into it, then that'll help your mind to be prepared for when it actually does happen.
And, we've touched on some of the way the body physically responds, and we're going to continue to touch on that. And so what I would encourage our listening audience to do is like, just realize that this is the gift of safety and of confidence and of well-being and security. And so your parents, your grandparents, children, everybody needs that gift. This is like the perfect stocking stuffer. And so all we're saying is, here we've provided you with this simple self-defense system that has 100 years of experience in it. And we just want you to try it. And then at the same time, we want you to join in and come and participate in these podcasts. We get calls from people all the time, and
lots of
we
free
answer their questions.
Yep.
And so all we're trying to do is give you a full look at the situation that might confront you with weapons and tools, strategy, mentality, confidence, and a skill set to come out the best you can. We want you to have life and life abundant. We want you to be healthy, happy, safe, enjoying life to its fullest. And that's what we're committed to. So join us in this journey. Let's walk with it together, and we will share with you all we've learned, and we will do everything we can to equip you so that you will never be a victim. You will always be an overcomer.
Amen. I think this is what makes what we do so powerful and so great, is that we have the ability to help the masses, the ability to help more than just the hundreds of students in our local communities. This has a chance to impact not only everyone in the United States, but potentially everyone in the whole world. And again, a lot of this is just having the safety and awareness skills to be alert, right? To be confident, and, to get rid of the element of surprise. If there's no element of surprise, you won't be the victim, right? But if you walk around with headphones on, you're always on your phone, you're going to get jumped or you're going to get mugged. So it's important for you to really understand, the whole situation. You got to understand what these predators are looking for, what they might do, how they might do it, what are the danger signs or signals, right? How you can fit in better, right? When you're visiting another town, you don't want to stand out like a sore thumb because you will be targeted. So, we cover all of these things in our training material. And so I think it's very, very important and effective and empowering for the everyday people. You really need this.
And I don't know if the general public out there listening, if you can appreciate how much we hate fear, and we want to overcome it, and we want you to overcome it because it has torment. It chokes the life out of you, and we're not good with that. That's not okay with us.
No.
Hey, we want you to live happy, prosperous, healthy lives, and that's our commitment.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. We covered a lot of different things. I think more importantly, we're sharing with everyone, what Warrior Taekwondo is all about. And it's not about replacing any martial arts. It's not about saying my style is better than yours, but it's more about helping and freeing up all of those people who are captive by fear, that are afraid to go out, that have PTSD because of something that's happened to them. All of these people deserve to have a wonderful life and a happy life. Yes.
Yep.
So thank you so much. We encourage all of you to visit warriorusa.net for more information. We have a great trial coming up. I think we're setting up for a 7-day free trial. And we want to encourage all of you that think you can't do it. We're telling you, you can do it. So please take on our offer, and we look forward to working with you and seeing you every single week. We also have a blog, right? A weekly blog. We have the weekly podcast. There's so many things that we're going to do. It's a great community, and we welcome all of you to join us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us this week. And for next week, I know it's the holidays, but we're going to be covering more about street smarts and self-defense tips that everyone can learn and use to, not be that target. So we encourage all of you to join us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Very good.
Thank you, everyone. Yes. And in the martial arts, this is how we say goodbye with Warrior Taekwondo.
Musa, Chongshin, Kamsamida.
Good. Thank you so much. And happy holidays to all of you.
Very much.
Yes, we'll see you all soon.